Hello guys, welcome back. Today I am going to show you around in my pantry. I'm going to share what I have in there and what I like to use it for. And I'm still making some stuff in the kitchen, so it's just off of the moment, and I want to show you what I have in there at this moment. So if we step into this pantry, this is the left side, and this is the most used area. This is where I grab things on the daily basis, and it's super close to the stove, so it's just one step away. And now we have some ant situation here. I have boxes usually here, and one holds the honey, the other one holds the smoothie mixes, but we got ants, and until it's perfectly cleared up, I keep them on the countertop so I can keep my eyes on that, but all the rest is sealed and safe from the ants. So I have a few items up there, like this pasta. It's a gluten-free pasta, and this is honestly just for decoration only. So if I want to have some powdered sugar on the top of a nice looking cookie, that's what I use, but I don't really use as a sweetener in the cookies. I have some vanilla beans, and this is the pasta I'm not going to repurchase. This is a coconut flour, and I love coconut flour, but they are tricky. I don't like to use a lot of it because it just tastes very strong. It has a very strong taste, so I mainly use this when I want to have a harder texture, and like pumpkin pie or something like that that is more juicy. I like to use that one, but just only at the time, just only like a few tablespoons of it because it's very strong and makes everything dry. Cocoa butter, now that's a staple because I like to make our sweets from scratch, and this is something that doesn't melt on the room temperature. Besides, the smell is amazing, and it's just so many purpose for that. I can even create some skincare as well. So these brown jars, I love these because it keeps the food in the dark, and so that way I can preserve the flavor and the color. So I keep the most sensitive things in here, and that would be chives. And this is an amazing stuff. This is again a staple in my kitchen, and probably this summer, if I'm achieved to have some in the garden, I'm going to dry it for myself. But this is a pretty nice addition just to put on the top of the food, like even just for the omelets or things like that, or making an egg roll, something. It just really makes the food look more appetizing and fancy. Okay, so the next one, I'm going to have 4 more of these, and I'm going to upgrade the more sensitive spices to put it in here. So I got some dried cilantro and Italian blend. I use this a lot when I make spaghetti, and red bell pepper. Ho, this is really good. This is an amazing thing. I like soups so much, and if I want to create a soup in 5 minutes, I use some onion powder and garlic powder, and I like to use some of this and the chives, coconut aminos. I can create soups very quickly with these, and even if I put this into a grinder, I can make a powder form, so I can use it as a spice on the meat. This one is just salt. Oh, this is a fun thing. This is just a silver, I think it's made from sugar, and I have this for years. I don't use that many, it's just for birthdays to decorate something with that. Okay, so this would be the spices and the teas and everything that is to do with baking, and I'm trying to keep it just to have this much, and I have an extra one. So once one of them will be empty, and probably that would be the tea, I'm going to refill it with this one. So the first row, it's mainly is for cooking. I got some garlic, minced garlic. It's a little bit chunkier, and I love this in soups, or just it looks really nice in stir fries. But I have the powder form. I like to use this for sauces or soups because it thickens everything. So that's the two difference between the miced one and the powder form. I have the onion, I got some cumin if I make taco. This one should be done with the baking stuff, but it's okay. So this is for the baking. I don't use tartar very often, so once it's empty I'm not going to refill it. So I got some pepper, I have some agar. I am going to repurchase this one because this is nice to thicken things like seaweed salad and things like that. I got some dill. I like to use this for many things, like mixing mayo with some mustard and some maple syrup and some dill, and or even just making a stew that has dill. I will have recipes on that. This is a black sesame seed. This is for decoration purpose only. Looks really nice. Bay leaf, caraway seed, turmeric. Turmeric, it's a staple. It reduces the inflammation. There are so many health benefits for that. So I always have that on the hand with the ginger, which I don't see now. And with the ginger, which I don't see now. Ginger, where are you? Huh. See it? Oh, ginger next to it. And next to the ginger, so there's two kind of something that I like to put into the teas for health benefits. And this is just kind of like seaweed thing that I can use in my soups. And this is just black rice, wild rice. I'm not going to buy again. It's really nice to have, just to, you know, make a change and have different things, so kids will be more open to try new things. I use it once in a while, but I don't use it that often to take up space, so I'm not going to repurchase this one. Sanatan gum, I use this not very often, but sometimes it calls for a recipe because I do gluten-free baking. This is the monk fruit that I grinded, and this is a powder form. Pumpkin spice, clove, cinnamon, baking soda. So this would be the baking section. These are all the teas that I love so much. I have them in my Amazon store if you are interested, but this is a tropical one. This is a Maui mango tea. I buy mine at natural grocers, but if I don't have time to go there, I just buy it online. But this is so good. I really wish you could smell that. Fireberry tea, blueberry wild child. Okay, so this one and this one over here is for health benefits. It's milk thistle and dandelion roots, that is to detox the liver. And I got some mint tea and nettle tea. Nettle is great for histamine, to reduce the histamine, so I always have this on hand in case we have, you know, hives from the histamine. Jasmine tea, it's I don't drink jasmine that often, although I love the smell of it, but I keep these teas mostly for friends when they are coming over, so they can pick something nice. Oh, I almost forgot. These are the spices I made last summer. I preserved them with salt. Basically, I just grind the herbs with salt, and it's infusing the flavor into the salt. The salt preserves the herb. Gelatin, this is something that goes into the smoothie, so it's a non-cooking one. Cornstarch, I use this once in a while, but I don't use a big amount, so that's plenty. Wheatgrass, I'm not going to repurchase this one. I rather to use fresh. I sucked into that because it was on such a great price at the grocery outlet, and here I am, I'm not using it. If I want to keep something that it's a powdered form and it's green, that would be the kale powder, because kale powder is such a mild taste. I can even put it in cookies too as well. This one has a stronger taste. Cacao, I have cacao, so there's the cocoa and the cacao. The cocoa is the processed one, the cacao is the real thing. So when you shop for cacao, then look for that and not the cocoa, which is a processed form. This is hemp seed, and these labels are coming off. Hemp seed that we put into the smoothie. I got 2 jars. So here's the question: when I'm getting a lot, what do I do if it doesn't fit into the jar? Well, I just start another jar, and usually when I bring it from home the store, one it's full, one it's halfway up. And that's fine. Nothing will be perfectly filled all the way to the top. So there's no rule for that. It's okay if it doesn't fill up the whole jar. So we just keep 2 of that. Okay, this is the fun one. This is again my, should I say hobby? These are teas, and I'm not going to even try to pronounce that one, but these have so many health benefits. It can treat so many things. Now you can research it, what is it good for. I'm not going to point it out because it would take a long time, but elderberry flower, so this is not the berry, it's the flower. This is really good. And this has a very mild taste too. So this is only for you when you enjoy the tea without any sugar or honey. It is very purely just for a mild taste. And this is the same, well, I don't know how does that called, but I think it's the same. It's just a different kind of that. Chamomile tea, I think it's a staple. Now that's a fun one, and I'm going to use this a lot in a upcoming weeks. Makes in a gorgeous, very strongly colored blue tea. So I make gummy Legos for the boys out of that without using any artificial coloring. And for the next line, okay, this is okay. The cornstarch should be here, and the chia seed should be up there. So chia seed goes into the smoothie, or if I'm making jam. So this is the main thing that I like to use in the jam. Well, I just call it a jam, but I just cook some strawberries or whatever fruits that you prefer from the freezer. I add some maple syrup, chia seeds, mix it with the blender, and that's done. And it's done, and it tastes delicious. The texture is amazing. Okay, so the cornstarch, I just put that here. Cassava flour, I'm not sure if I'm going to repurchase this one, but I'm on the fence. First, I thought I'm not going to because I have tapioca starch and it is very similar. Maybe this one creates a little bit more gooey texture, but they both have a very mild taste and they are gluten-free. And recently I started to create some things with that and they all turned out good. So I might going to buy more of that. I use a lot from that. I got some poppy seeds. We are from Hungary, so we use a lot of poppy seeds. We make sweets with poppy seeds. I'm going to share more on that. This is the cooking gelatin. This is a staple again. I like to make sauces with that. And gummy bears for the boys, cakes that has like this gelatin top, so I use this a lot. Oh, and the cheese, I like to make dairy-free cheese with zucchinis and with this gelatin. Sesame seed, we love Asian food, so that's a staple. I got some beans, buckwheat. Well, it's not my favorite choice, but that is something my body does well with that, better than with oatmeal. So I'm kind of making the oatmeal. The only thing that I love this stuff very much is to soak it and dehydrate it, and it becomes like this itty bitty crunchy little pieces in there that I can use when I create bars. Nutritional yeast is a very healthy, packed with vitamin B. I like to use this for creating cheese. I have some millet. We are not too crazy about millet, but I like to use a few different things just to have more variety, so it's more balanced that way. And what I like to make out of millet is just to cook and then add some apple cider vinegar, some salt and olive oil. I cut up some tomatoes, cucumbers, radish, and I just mix it together like kind of like a cold salad. And this is I forgot the name of it, but it's a bean. This is a Hungarian writing, so you're not going to understand that. And this is basically a ground bean, and this is what I use for breading when I trying to make a schnitzel or something to fry and cover it with kind of like a bread crumb. This is what I use for that. I have some avocado oil when I do deep fry. So I got some more flours up there for tea, sushi rice, and almond, and for snack I like to use some popcorn. I got some crackers. We have this once in a while in the pantry, not often. This pasta is for salad, more beans, and this is elderberry. I make my own elderberry syrup. It is way cheaper that way. I have some manuka that I bought from the grocery outlet, so when I make the syrup I use that one. This one, yeah, oh, that's a fun one, guys. This is really a fun one. These are dried flowers that it's a food grade one that I can use to decorate cakes and cookies, and it's just endless possibilities. I have this fun tea that if I put this into the water it blossoms, and these are just the flavorings in there, some almond and vanilla, and I got some extra spices. So this is a refill area, and this is a sweet one, so sweet spices, and this is the salty one, and this is the Asian food, meaning of that I got some rice noodles, the thin ones, and some nori sheets. These are all the supplements. I'm not gonna go into details with that because that would take very long, but I have to show you that. So it's a pitaya powder, this is a dragon fruit powder, and that goes into the fun category over there. But let's go in order. So I got some pasta. I love this one. This is a gluten-free one. These both have quinoa in there, so if you are gluten-free and you're trying to find a nice pasta, the quinoa is the one. The rice gets really dry very quickly. I got some lentils, that's a staple, we like lentil soup. Oats, haha, we love this one for breakfast. And first time in 10 years I bought a coffee for Joat. He stopped drinking coffee because he used to drink lots of coffee, and I just love the smell of it so much, and I was thinking maybe I can make some for him on the weekends, so it's not going to be for every day, but like for on the weekends. I got some salt, and this is purely for the use when we are at the table. Okay, these are all just flowers. These are all flowers down here, except obviously this one. This is dates, and this is an almond flour. Almond. I got rice. We use a lot of rice. If we have tortilla chips or something, I like to keep it closed from the ends. I got some coconut flakes. I make coconut milk out of that, so it's almost like storing a canned coconut milk. But it's even better because it's gonna be homemade and there's nothing else in there. So this is all the Namaste brand flour, all of them except this one. This is almond. This section over here we got some tomato paste. This is an amazing brand. It doesn't have sugar or anything else in there, just pure tomato, and it's organic. This is the leftover from the pandemic canned food pile up. So this too, I have to use this too. And I always have some olives. That's the only canned things that I like to have on hand. I have coconut cream. This is for whipped cream. And these are some sardines and tuna. And over here, this is all for like condiments like ketchup and mustard, teriyaki sauce, hot sauce, sesame seed oil. I'm trying to keep it simple as much as possible. This is rice I ordered off of Amazon. This is the favorite milk I like to use, and I purchased them. Usually I make my own milk from nuts, but I like to purchase this one. This is this has the least amount of yucky things in there and it's unsweetened, and it's amazing with some oat if I want to make some oatmeal. And also this is what I use for Joel's coffee. Mayo, I always have this on hand because I can mix some corn and some cold cuts and other whatever leftover I have in the refrigerator and mix it with that, and I have a cold dish for the breakfast. Maple syrup, that's a staple. That's all I use for sweetened things. I don't have any other processed sugar. Oh, this is the favorite brand of pasta. So if you see that in the store, you can't go wrong with that. And as it shows on the picture, you can make salad with that. Over here, I have the heaviest items, and it's mostly just ghee, coconut oil, salt, and apple cider vinegar. It's super basic. Over here, I have just water, just in case if there's an emergency, if we have the power out, we have a pump system, so then we don't have water either. Just in case it's something up, we have some water, ghee, and this is the tomato sauce that I love to use. It has nothing in there, just only tomatoes. For pasta, I love this brand as well. This is from Quinoa too, and this is amazing. Okay, on this side I have the potatoes and I have the onions, and I have some extra bags. Up there is just extra storage. It mostly like tortilla chips and some cocoa powder and similar items like that. It's just a very light fluffy bagged items that I can refill the jars from there. Little containers, I love these so much, and I have apple cider vinegar in this one, and I have olive oil in this one. So for the olive oil, it has to be in dark, as some of you have commented. You made a great point on that. I forgot that. So I'm going to keep it in a darker jar, but I will put other oils in here, and probably I'm going to put some maple syrup once the ends are gone. But I just really love how I can control the portion with that. It's very convenient when I prepare the drink. I'm going to put this apple cider vinegar in there because it's just easy to grab. What makes this pantry very functional, that the shelves are very thin, so I do get to see exactly what I have, and that's why I love the jars, because I get to see how much I have and what I have, because most of the times when I purchase something, it comes in the box or some kind of sort of package, and sometimes the box has like that much of a food in there, like it's just literally, especially with pasta, gluten-free pasta, and that way I can estimate how much I exactly have. It works for me really well, and it's a very inexpensive way, because I find most of these jars at the second-hand store. I bought a few as new, like especially these little ones, but this size, it's very likely that you can find them in the second-hand store. For spices, if you use a little, I love these flat ones, and I used to store this in the drawer when I had a drawer. Also, if you have more spice, I would suggest this one, because this is a great size, especially because I buy the spices from natural grocers. They have an incredible price. I couldn't find anything better than that, and the amount that they put in there, it perfectly fits in here. About this size, this is the same type than over here, same brand. I like this one for when I have a little bit more amount that I need to store, but I find that the packaging in the store, especially from Costco, is just not enough. I need to use 2 of them, and the same applies for the one that it's up there. I would say my most favorite and most usable size is the gallon size one, and this is a kombucha maker jar, so I got some extra rag and rubber bands with that and some stickers, but I just love the size. I love how easy it is to grab. I love the white lids, and I have the La Parfait one. Okay, so this one seals the best. So this is absolutely proof of if you put liquid in there or you don't want any bugs to get in there, I would say this seals the best, hands down. But this is the most expensive, so that's how far I got with my collection. They were on sale, and I bought them probably in 2013, so it's been a few years when I started to buy them. And out of all, I would say for storing and for budget, I really like this one. For quality, I like this one, and especially because the lid is attached, so you don't have to look for it. It's given, it's there. So each has pros and cons. But again, the size, for the size that I like to store the things, this is for me the must. And this size, this is for the everyday items and the spices. So it depends on how you cook and what you cook, but this is what works for me. Now that we have some end issues, I have a cabinet here that they haven't found yet. So I hid all the sweets here. I have some powdered vanilla sugar that I made, and some manuka, and the chocolate. This chocolate is so good. It's made with coconut milk and coconut sugar. So this is something my body can handle better if I don't eat too much of it. I have these out on the countertop until we solve the end issue. So I have beet latte. This is really good, and it helps the digestion. It has so many health benefits. I have some of that. This is for health benefits as well. Here's some beetroot. I'm going to use it up for something. We are not really big fan of that thing. This is incredible. That has a very strong blue color. So this is gonna be something I'm going to use for the birthdays to color the food, like the whipped cream that I make from coconut cream. This is something I got as a hand-me-down from a friend. It's a creamer. It's really good. And also there's another one from her. We really like this one. I have some orange peel that I like to put into smoothies, and kale powder. I have 2 of that. They had this at the grocery outlet, so I stock up on that because this is really a good stuff. I can use it for many things. Put it into the cookies or into smoothies. And I will try to list everything that I'm usually getting questions about. Okay, so this would be the tour for now, but we're going to have the door coming in soon, and I have this thing up there that we're going to put on that door, and it's going to be look very nice. It's gonna be like a barn door, so we can slide it, so we can leave it open, we can close it if we want. And I'm getting a bunch of questions why I keep this salt lamp there. Basically, when it's super dark, I like to have this around in the house just to have a warm glow. Also, it's great for EMF, electric magnetic field, but I'm not sure if it works. Some people say it doesn't work, some people say it works. Well, it doesn't hurt if I have this on. But I really like just this warm glow that it gives in the dark. And on the other side of the pantry, we keep all the fruits and the eggs that we have from the girls. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys soon. Bye!